Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show, and of course, your host Superman in the house. So we've got a lot to talk about today. So hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to kick it off with the stock market, and of course, then we're going to get into the crypto market, and then get into Pulse Chain. We've got some pretty major announcements today in today's live stream. It really is some pretty significant ones. We've got obviously strategy from Michael Saylor. We got a big update from Bitmine Immersion. We've got a big update around Kraken, and it's pretty huge too. So we've got a bit of a triple lineup there of all the top players. We've also got, of course, Pulse Chain with LibertySwap, a pretty major release today of LibertyX. So huge stuff happening there. And of course, we're going to touch on the Monster 3 just got out as well with the latest Pulse Chain weekly news. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Don't forget, of course, to get out on X and give us a follow. So you can go up to the top of X and smash the follow button at the top of the profile there. So definitely get out and do that. I'm just going to pin the show to the top of the live stream there. That should be all good. So get out there, folks. Don't forget to smash the repost button as well. Helps a lot there. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget also to smash the subscribe button as well. So some good things happening there. Hey, we got Yellowtail in the house there. Holla. Good to see Yellowtail. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, as you guys know, I love a lively chat as well. Now, if you guys want to join the Strategy Club Discord, it's a private club, just over $1 a day to join up, and you can see the QR code is now below me where I'm streaming. So if you can just use your phone to join up there, you'll go through the Whoop store, and we'll see it inside the Discord Strategy Club there for all the intel flows. So should be pretty good. All right, so stocks end a roller coaster session higher after Trump says Iran war is very complete. Obviously, they've got a ton of assets, 3 aircraft carrier fleets there, as well as all the bases and some degree some allies. And so they've really just basically taken out all the hardware. Really, they'll probably continue to do that over the next week. So that has settled things down a little bit after we had our oil spike yesterday, which was pretty dramatic. We've got Sean and Melly in the house there. Good morning, all. Up only, Sean. Up only. So that's kind of where we are on that one. Let's check out the Dow Jones. Dow Jones up 0.5%. So very counterintuitive over the weekend, given the oil spike. S&P 500, up 0.5% to 240 points to 47,740. S&P 500 up 0.83%, 56 points to 6,800. And the Nasdaq there up 1.4%, pretty big day, 308 points to 22,000, I should say, 700. So the 3 indices there looking really solid. US dollar is just up very slightly at 98.74. The VIX, which we've been keeping an eye on for the bottom of the market. Tom Lee, of course, talking about potentially hitting 40 on the VIX. Well, we certainly got spiked yesterday. But that is down 13% today at 25.5 on the VIX. So let's jump over to commodities where we've got all the drama. And over the last week, we had West Texas there is currently back at $86. It is down 8%, down $8 to $86. But you can see that huge spike that we had over the weekend, and we got all the way up to something like about $116 on West Texas, and what a drama that was. And we've come down mostly all the way back, not quite there yet, but certainly down quite a bit. A week ago, we were at $71 and we're 87 still. So we're still up, about $15, $16 or so. So, but that spike was pretty dramatic. Brent oil also likewise is actually at 1.7%. $1.50 is still at pretty elevated at $90. And you can see we got all the way up there to about $116 as well. So pretty massive grind, but has pulled back quite a lot there, as you can see. Now, we did have some stuff around the oil, so we're going to check that out. We got Justin, ships are beginning to safely make it through the Strait of Hormuz, again, as the U.S. military masterfully decimates the Iranian Navy. President Trump told oil tankers, show some guts, and said that they have no navy. We sunk all their ships. Now, as I understand it, they've sunk well over 40 ships, and these are probably generally large ships, so pretty cool. And you can see on this video the ships there, I guess going around this very a tiny corner, which is about 21 miles. I think the narrowest part is about 21 miles here. But you can see all the ships that had been lining up, oil ships and a lot of other cargo ships, right? So apparently they're starting to make some move. Also, remember we talked about Trump doing the maritime protection as well as potentially insurance, I think it was, as well. So we'll try and keep tabs on that. But it seems to be flowing a little bit at least. Up only indeed, up only indeed. So that is some of the news there. And we got gold at the moment holding at $5,145. That's up almost 1%, 42 points. Silver at $87.75. That is up 3.8%. So silver looking good again, $3 too. But definitely we've been in the range of, DC taking some profits if you've had some mad gains in silver. Still expecting gold and silver to perform well this year. But once again, still in the territory of taking some profits if you got in much earlier, of course. So that's kind of where we are with that. So we had a bit of a tech rebound. Trump further saying that the operation against Iran was very, very much complete, as we said earlier. They have no navy, no communications. They've got no air force. And that the war plans were very far ahead of the administration's 4 to 5 week timeline. So they're probably just going to continue to bomb all the key areas. There was a little bit of spat, of course, about Israel targeting some of the oil fields, which wasn't in Trump's plan. And that caused a bit of civilian drama in some of the video shots, if you've seen some of those. But apart from that, it's gone pretty well. So yeah, that's all happenings there. We do have some key economic data coming out this week. We got consumer price index coming out on Wednesday, and then on Friday we've got the personal consumption expenditure price index. So we've got the two inflation indicators coming out on Wednesday and Friday. They will be of particular interest to the markets, especially after we had last month's surprise decline in employment. I think it was about 70,000 plus jobs. So that's kind of where we are right now. So got some inflation data coming pretty key there, and of course interest rates, one of the key metrics we're looking for in terms of getting the crypto market on the move as well. So that is our stock market update and economic news. And it looks like shipping is starting to move a bit, so we'll keep watching that theme. Obviously, it's a war zone, so all sorts of things can change in an instant there. But generally, there's not much hardware left from the Iranian point of view. So yeah, obviously they're still targeting drones and rockets, stashes and things like that. But that's kind of where it is at the moment. Let's go to crypto. Crypto overall at the moment is up slightly at the moment. So we're up 0.2%. Let me just do a refresh of this, just make sure I've got the latest and greatest. Sorry, there we go. So I thought that was wrong. So we're up 3% here for the total crypto market, $2.44 trillion, 2.44. And we got future expectations that we could have $100 trillion crypto market in the future. So it's a long way to go to get to that. And we're still a very small market. Even getting to half of that would be, currently where gold's market cap is, 40, 50 trillion. So we've got a bit of work to do there, but we're excited about where crypto is going. Bitcoin at the moment is up 3.9%, $69,185. We've got Ethereum up 3.3% at 2017. So a nice little surprise there coming out of the weekend into the week. And we've got the BNB up 3.6% at $640, let's say. XRP at number 5 at 1.6% at $1.37. We've got Solana up 3.8% at $85.68. And then number 8 is Tron, down 1.4% at 28.5 cents. And then we've got Figure Helic at number 9, $1.04, up down 0.7 cents. And Doge there at number 10, up 1.3% at 9.1 cents. Now, Doge, of course, we're going to keep a lookout on that with MoneyX, Elon Musk's X wallet. Firstly, it's starting off being fiat-based, and particularly US at the moment, but it will be going global. Apparently, they're working on the global other countries, and we did cover that in a video the other day. The other thing, of course, is that crypto's not really been added yet, but that's something we'll look forward to in the future too, is crypto part of that. So, but everyone pretty impressed with the fiat wallet so far. So that's kind of where we are with the top 10. Best performer is, best performer is Solana, No, Bitcoin actually is the best performer, up 3.9% in the last 24 hours. Last week, the best performer is Figure Helic and Tron, up both around about 1%. Looking at the top 100, we got Kite up 32% for the week, Pi Network up 29%, OKB up 26%, White Bitcoin up 8.8%, and then Toncoin for Telegram up 8.2%. So those are the top performers in the last week. Over the 1,000, over the last 24 hours, we've got GRX Chain, Norris Protocol, and Collect on Fanable. Those are the top 1,000 right now. Trending overall on CoinGecko is Hyperliquid, Pudgy Penguins, and Bitcoin. So quite a mighty lineup there with that trifecta. So yeah, total market cap up 3 trillion, Bitcoin up pretty nicely today. Let's have a look at some of the big alpha news that's come out over the last sort of 12 hours. So let's check that out. So Michael Saylor there, of course, having the last laugh. Obviously, strategy there has acquired almost 18,000 Bitcoin. That's a pretty good bag, pretty big bag, for 1.28 billion at $70,946 per Bitcoin. So a little bit on the higher side of what we've seen in the range, but certainly a big bag of Bitcoin there acquired by strategy. So the master mover keeps moving. As of the 8th of March, strategy hodls 738,731 Bitcoin total at the moment. Of course, they've talked about heading towards 1 million. Well, 18,000 is a nice big step towards that. So pretty strong arms being shown here from Michael Saylor. Obviously, after getting quite a lot of criticism about paper losses, given the pullback in Bitcoin over 50%. But he's continuing on with the strategy, so it's pretty cool. They bought that 738,731 Bitcoin acquired for $56 billion at an average price of 75,862. And of course, that's out of the money, about $7,000 now, close to $7,000 right now. But it's just paper loss, not realized, right? Unrealized. So that's kind of where we are. So pretty big news there for Michael Saylor. Now, if you're in Strategy Club, of course, you would have got that link pretty much straight away when it came out. So that's part of the power of the Strategy Club. Let's jump in to Bitmine emission. So obviously, Strategy is the big Bitcoin player, big DAT or digital assets treasury. Well, the big one on Ethereum is Bitmine. And it is doing impressively well. So Tom Lee, just like Michael Saylor, is leading the way and doing it a lot faster, right? Doing a lot faster. So we got the latest update for Bitmine emission, hot off the press, and Bitmine provided its latest holdings update for March the 2nd. And we had 10.3 billion in total crypto, plus the moonshots. Remember, the moonshots is 5% of cash is being used to put into strategic acquisitions, and they've been fantastic so far. So total ETH at the moment now is jumped up to 4,534,563 ETH at $1,965. They also all had 195 Bitcoin from the old Bitcoin mining days. They have obviously the 200 million stake in Beast Industries, which I think is a master play, guys. It's a master play. It's going to be a couple of key players that dominate generation Alpha and Z, I think it is. They are going to be, there's going to be a couple of people dominating that, and Mr. Beast is going to be one of them, right? Maybe the biggest of them all. So that's also going to potentially be mass adoption for Ethereum and crypto, right? So that is the connection, some of the connections that we're expecting. We may hear about that sometime this year, so it could be quite much earlier there. 40 million stake in 8Co Holdings as well. Orbs, which is digital ID. Now, you guys know we're in DeFi. We don't generally like digital ID. Sometimes you can't get around it depending on where you are, but that is going to be a key technology as well with IDs there. Total cash of 1.2 billion, and this was a big surprise. They're already sitting on about 850 million in cash, which is fantastic, but they have ramped up to 1.2 billion, which means that they can do a big buy of Ethereum and therefore try and time the market. As you guys know, they got Tom DeMark there, who's their a champion of finding the bottoms, helping them make that decision. So we could see a massive buy come in from that, and that would also potentially put the bottom in on Ethereum. So massive cash sitting there, increase from 850 million to 1.2. within about a week, I think it was. So there we are, massive jump there. Tom Lee playing the master game there. He is the connection, but also between TradeFi and crypto, and particularly Ethereum. So we've got some major stuff happening there. That's why we're following the Bitmine. So as of March the 9th, 2026, Bitmine total staked ETH stands at 3,440,000. So that's huge, out of 4.5 million, 3 million. So what's that, 2/3? Total staked ETH by week, we can see there sitting pretty solid. Now, that 3 million has been the same for the last 4 updates, interesting enough. And we also know they've got their Maven coming out, right? So there's a portion of the 4.5 million ETH held by Bitmine. The CESR, the composite Ethereum staking rate administered by Quatrefoil, is 2.84%, and the BMNR 7 daily yield is 2.9. So pretty tidy there. Now, on that 1.2 billion in cash, they're probably earning slightly higher rate on that at the moment, but that's still pretty awesome. Bitmine is currently working with 3 staking providers as the company moves towards its unveiling its commercial Maven Made in America validated network in 2026, and that won't just be Ethereum, probably other chains like Solana. So that's going to be pretty powerhouse there, and it's going to connect not only existing players in crypto, but that TradeFi connection, which is all part of the future of the old crypto, right? So pretty awesome stuff there. And you can see that on the chart there, that if they do, if they actually use all their cash up, if they stake all their current ETH that they have, that 4.5 million, that would be 75% of their total target as well, which is pretty massive. And the income would be $250 million a year. And this puts them, right up there amongst the top performers in companies in any status in the world, crypto or non-crypto. So pretty huge there. And with that 1.2 billion, they could probably buy another, I don't know, was it 450,000 ETH or something like that, which would get them up around the 5 million mark, right? Around 5 million. So they are targeting 6 million ETH as their target. So pretty cool there. Now, we've seen a lot of the other DATs or digital asset treasuries, fall away. I think we've only got really 2 on the ETH side that are still doing well in terms of purchasing. That's the top 2 players. And so, it really is going to end up being a small game there. And it's going to be winner takes all, right? Winner takes all. And Bitmine is setting up to be at least one of 2 players that will get that winner takes all premium, right, in the old MNAV. Chairman Thomas Lee Fund states that Ethereum prices showed resilience this week in the face of rising war concerns and surging oil prices. We continue to believe that crypto prices are in the late final stages of the mini crypto winter and are tracking the base case outlined by Bitmine's advisor Tom DeMark of DeMark Analytics. According to DeMark, ETH prices in 26 are tracking the path of S&P 500 in the fall of 2011 and the fall of 987 closely. Correlations to these prices trajectories is 89 and 93% for 2011 and 1987, excuse me, respectively. See charts below. If these logs hold, ETH prices bottom between March the 8th and March the 14th. So only got a few more days to go based on this, and just below the recent lows of 1740. Again, consistent with crypto in the final stage of the mini crypto winter, as the adage goes. Says Tom, nobody rings the bell at the bottom, and therefore Bitmine's strategy is to now slightly increase the pace of ETH accumulation. In the past week, we acquired 60,976 Ethereum compared to the average of 45 to 50 weekly recently. So a big jump there in the amount of ETH that they've purchased, and of course the amount of cash has jumped dramatically. So they can do a big buy, which is what Tom's indicated. And they'll probably try and pick off the bottom of the market and help make that market bottom happen. So next week we could see potentially a very big buy on ETH. So keep note of that. They got $1.2 billion, and they're thinking the bottom's going to be near the end of the 14th from Tom DeMark. He's the bottom market timer guy. That sets us up very well for this week, guys. This week to see the bottom in by the end of the week on ETH, and these guys may end up being the market makers that make that happen. So some very exciting things happening there. So here's the weekly buys. The last one was 60,976 on the 8th of March. Previously, you can see it was more around 50, 45, right? The last previous couple of weeks. So big jump there. BMNR currently reigns as the largest ETH treasury and largest holder of ETH in the world, second largest crypto treasury, only behind MicroStrategy itself, MSTR, which we just talked about with their big Bitcoin buy. So both of the two leaders there on Bitcoin and Ethereum are leading the way. Now, according to data from Fundstrat, BMNR traded average daily dollar volume of $1 billion. And this is the other thing, right? That strategy and Bitmine dominate the liquidity. And you guys know that's where the big players go. They go where the liquidity is. It's also where they can raise capital, right, with a liquid market. And so this is very key fundamental aspects of both strategy and Bitmine is the liquidity volume. So this ranks them 125 in the US. Now that they've moved around quite a bit. They were much higher last year, but that's still a very high ranking and still a very high dollar volume on a 5-day average. So pretty exciting there. You can see they're ahead of United Airlines. That's how big the volume is there. So a pretty big deal. Among 5,704 US listed stocks as well. So number 125. So it's a pretty key player there. You can see that in the image. Pretty neat. So that is the update there from Bitmine. That was also posted in the Strategy Club. So just a bit of a teaser of some of the stuff you're going to get in the Strategy Club there. So join up today. You got the QR code there, or you can find the links in the video description. All right, let's jump over to Tom Lee because they're at Granny Shots. So Granny Shots is one of the ETFs that they have, and they've got their own booth up and running. And I thought this was a fun piece here with Tom Lee and Wolf. And taking a granny shot, literally, as a shot of water, of course, in this case.
Go.
Cheers. Taking the granny shot. This is Tom Lee.
Can you show us the shot?
Granny shot.
Granny.
So there we go. They're having a bit of fun there at the display room there. And that's pretty funny. So I thought they would play that. So it's Tom Lee, the chairman, of course, of Fundstrat, as well as Bitmine Immersion there. And he's the master player. Probably one of the three biggest names on the Ethereum now would be Tom Lee, of course. So being one of those three, Vitalik. And there's another chap as well. I'm not coming off my top of my head, but that is pretty big play there. Now, the other big news we had was around Kraken. Now, there's an interesting tie-in between Bitmine Immersion and Kraken. So that's something that's probably going to play out in due course as well. And, of course, with Mr. Beast, I think we're going to see some interesting relationships there that are already sitting in the background. But Kraken's been absolutely cracking it lately, really pushing the boundaries there. NASDAQ partners with Kraken to push 24/7 tokenized stock trading, guys. So the RWA world is exploding. Ethereum just reached 15 billion, which is very tiny. They're talking about RWA tokenization heading towards $200 trillion, guys. We're just at the beginning. You guys are going to get filthy rich because this is all just beginning, guys. Just got to have that, hold your bags, have the good bags, and etc. So it's going to be pretty neat. NASDAQ is working with crypto exchange Kraken to develop tokenized version of stocks and ETFs that can be traded 24 hours a day. The initiative could launch around 2027 and would give token holders the same rights as traditional shareholders. So we're expecting a ton of massive tokenization by next year with a lot of the key TradeFi players and, of course, going on to some of the key crypto players right now like Kraken. And, of course, Bitmine is tied into this. So keep a lookout for that coming up. Bitmine's going to have its own app. We know Mr. Beast has bought an app, and there's going to be some interesting, see what offerings are on those apps. But it's going to introduce it to hundreds of millions of new people, particularly in the Generation X and Alpha and things like that, which will be beneficiaries of the big transfer, wealth transfer between generations as well. So there's lots of things going on there. But pretty big news indeed. Remember that they had just recently got special banking rights with the Federal Reserve as well. So lots of cool things happening with Kraken there. Really is frontier player. Going to watch out for connections with Bitmine, etc. So that is some of the big crypto news. I said it was going to be pretty big day in the office. Now, Pulse Chain itself, of course, has had its own little rally recently, and we've got some pretty big drops from LibertySwap. So we're going to get into that now too. So let's do that. So we've got Pulse Chain at the moment is on a day 1,033. Now, for those that are not familiar with Pulse Chain, it is a full system state copy of Ethereum, and therefore it's got the robustness of the Ethereum blockchain and can upgrade to a lot of the upgrades pretty much for free for the whatever happens on Ethereum. So recently we saw Vitalik talk about the road to defend against quantum attacks, and so Pulse Chain will be able to naturally benefit from that with any upgrades. So it is pretty cool place to be. Has the bottom been in for Pulse Chain? Is it finally in? Certainly looking pretty positive recently over the last week or so. So we got the current price of Pulse still lost that zero, so we're looking stronger today. 40 is 109, and we're sitting up 5%. Still low off the base, but certainly nice to see that 50 disappear, and it looks like we have managed to battle our way above it. PulseX at the moment is at quadruple 0773, so it's still got that zero. So still super cheap offerings there. Potential upside's pretty high. It's only up 4.87% today, so only about the same price as Pulse. So the ratio there pretty much staying the same. Buy and burn sitting at 8.64% on PulseX. Remember, Pulse has inflation from validators unless we get a certain amount of volume through the chain and get some deflationary moments in the future. PulseX is completely deflationary, right? So Ink token at the moment is just below 49 cents, almost at the 50-cent mark I talked about the other day. And that is up 4%, so not as well, doing as well as the Pulses. And we got Hex on Pulse Chain up 7.6%. It is the winner of the day, and we have been very bullish about Hex. Hex is sitting at just above 21/100th of a penny. EHEX still holding down at about 0007. So EHEX not really moving too much, but PHEX is showing some nice strength there, up 7.6%. Now we do have some big Hex stakes coming out, don't we? Today and right through to the 17th, where we've got the big OA stake. So this week is a lot of big stakes coming out. We'll see what they all do, right? What will all that Hex do? We'll find out. Probably certainly the OA will be something that will benefit the system, but all the other big Hex stakes coming out that I think start today, what will they do? It'll be interesting to see. All right, so that is overall what's happening with the old Pulse Chain. Let's jump over to the gas prices. We got 900,000 beats, pretty similar to what we had yesterday. 0.3 of a penny for PulseX swap right now. Moving to the validators, we've got 53,303 validators. Not very profitable at the moment, but doing a great community service and still accumulating the pulse. The bridge right now, 70.6 million. Now we have all these stable coins on there. Only a fraction of those stable coins is actually in pools, maybe $3-4 million or something like that. The rest of it is sitting on the sidelines, and I guess if it gets active, we could see a pretty big pump on the chain, regardless of even more fresh capital coming over. But it does tend to just sit there, so we'll see what happens in the future. Maybe there's a certain trigger point in the future where it might suddenly go ballistic. So take note, and of course, more capital will follow over the bridge to follow the green candles, right? So lots of cool things in the future, I'm sure, for Pulse Chain. And if ETH flies, Pulse Chain will fly too, no doubt, with the Magic Carpet Ride or Sacrifice ETH there, assuming you're in the camp where that will actually be used at some stage to pump the chain in some form or another. All right, so that is the old goalposts, goalpost ones there. Let's have a look at the overall markets. We've got Pulse Maker, been around for 10 months, up 38%, top performer in the 100 trending here. Whale Bay up 16%. We've got a Trope at number 3, up 12%, so the old James Maria there. We've got Teddy Bear, James Maria up as well, 12%, so James Maria representing today. We've got Emmett Farm from Kairos, and we just did an interview yesterday with Kairos, and I just had a good time. Did you guys have a good time with the interview? We did about an hour and went through pretty much everything on the Emmett Farm, and man, was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. If you haven't checked it out, definitely go back and check that video. It was a great, very concise. We had the first 20 minutes kind of as an overview, the next 40 minutes in the detail. So if you like the detail, you can jump ahead. And we looked at the yields and all the partnerships and all that sort of stuff. Very, very cool. Nice to see Emmett today up at 12%, sitting at number 5. So congratulations to Kairos on that. $1.28 on the old Emmett Farm there. I just moved up to number 4. How about that? See, it's still rising. Look at that. It's kind of cool. Right up there with all the James Maria tokens. We do have Zero Trust there, tied into the PCock. That's up 10% at number 8. And that's also number 12. We also got the Zendog, also part of the PCock trifecta, I guess, is Zero and Zendog. Zendog up 9%. We have Hex slipping in there a little bit with the Hex pump. It's up 8.5%, of course, at 2.1 cents. So looking pretty good there. Algo is a Hex derivative, so that's up pretty nicely as well. Not at a leverage yet, but still up 7.6%. Pulse Puppy at number 18 is sitting just below $40, up 7.6% there. We've got Smog at number 21. I think this was the best performer in the last 2 days. It's only been around apparently for 25 days or so, but that's up 7.4%. A reserve Tay, I believe another James Maria one there, up 7.4%. A lot of hex pairs all the way down. Number 25. Number 26 is Swarm, up 6.7%. INC making its self seen here at number 27, up 6.5% as well. And then we get into some of the PCock plays, sitting over 2 cents, which is really, really important mark for PCock. It is probably going to about to break out to another level. It's probably the guess there. We've got some sort of a rising pendant or something like that. We've got Pump Tires Die sitting at 00017 right now, up 6%. Finvesta, the grandparent of the OG Web Chef, $2.48, up 6% as well. UFO from PTC. PTC obviously been doing pretty well recently over the last sort of few weeks with their referral program. The UFO is up 6% as well. RSI oversold. Number 34 is up 6%. Gizmo has been around for about a month. That's up 6%. Then we've got a couple more PCock pairs, the major ones actually, sitting in there as well. And they're actually even higher. Look at that, 2.04 cents on the old PCock there. So we may see PCock go even higher today, tomorrow, and in the week ahead. So keep a lookout for that. We've got PCock, P-Tiger. They also got quite a bit of PCock LP as well. That's up 6%. We've got crypto coffee shop there, not crypto top hat coffee, but coffee shop. Been around for 6 months, up 5.8% as well. So we're not doing too bad. We've got the PulseX pairs. We've got the Doubt meme token up 5%. And that's probably a good number to finish there. So we've got 44 pairs at the moment, over 5%. So that's ticking away. And, that's about, I guess, where Pulse was, somewhere like that. So not bad, not bad. And then we've got all these other peers currently ticking away. We've got PTC down here at the moment, just up 1.5%. Number 76. We've got Source. Minimum was doing quite well yesterday. It's down 1.5% today, but it's been doing pretty well. And presumably that will be moving over to Solana or something later. And then we've got some of the other OG Web Chefs here with the dominance down here. SCADA from Nuclear Supplies down here as well. Pepe Meme Coin down here. Staked Eeked Ethereum Fork down here as well. Liquid Loans down here as well, about 9.7%. And then DevC Coin really shedding quite a bit there, down 18%, which is interesting. So those are the marks here. So a pretty good day in the office on the old Pulse chain. Not a huge day, but a good solid day for the Pulse chain there. And of course, Pulse chain has lost that 0, which is kind of cool. And we'll see. Next step is for PulseX to lose that 0, right, and get back to 4 zeros. But let's have a look at the big news on Pulse chain, which is LibertySwap, right? LibertySwap there absolutely been amazing. And we got LibertySwap has just launched their LibertyX. We've been waiting for this. Another big launch from LibertySwap. LibertyX is a big one. All the core features are up and running quite well, they said. Within this week, we will improve the quote speed, will open limit orders for LibertyX, and enhance the UI and UX on it. So UI meaning user interface, UX meaning user experience. The swap rate is good with MEV protection and best-in-class execution. So there we go. And we got a little snapshot of that. $3,000 buying some Pulse. Nice. And I got the new LibertyX there. Isn't that cool? That is cool. And pretty quick time there as well. So that is from... they've had 19,200 views on that so far. They launched at 2 o'clock in the morning, my time. So that's about 9 hours ago. It's about 9 hours ago. So they've had about almost 19,000 views over that. So kind of cool. Getting some good support from the community as well. And we get a lot of support from the community there. Isn't that cool? Tax tokens are supported as well. How about that? So kind of groovy. There we go. So that is from LibertySwap. Now they had a lot more updates, so we're going to quickly go through some of those, highlight as well. But that is a big deal for LibertySwap, a big deal for PCock, and a big deal for Pulse chain. And it is, of course, is a multi-chain solution, and it's all around their intent-based trading and finding both on-market and off-market solutions for that for your whatever trade you want, and with privacy, right? So it's pretty neat. So that was pretty cool. What else? They had some other updates 8 hours ago. At launch, we support routes for Patias, PulseX, V1, V2, and 9mm Pro. So DEX aggregators and DEXs, and 9-inch as well. You will receive whichever returns the best result automatically without MEV attacks as well. So you're going to bypass MEV bots, won't get front run you on the old gas fees and stuff, and make you pay a higher price. 0 fees and no gas too to kick it off. Isn't that cool? Limit orders will be released this week, and of course the upgrades, the UI upgrades. So pretty cool coming from them. They got some more snapshots there. $1,000 US to buying Pulse in this example. They got the comparison to Petius, I guess, and it looks pretty similar, isn't it? Pretty similar. In fact, it's slightly better through LibertyX there with the old amount. So kind of cool. So that is some of the updates there. What else we got from them? We've got OXG ship there. Excited about it. LibertySwap is live. An intent-based DEX and volume aggregator built specifically for Pulse Chain. Instead of hunting for liquidity across multiple DEXs, LibertyX does it for you by sourcing the best execution from places like the ones we just mentioned, all while keeping your funds non-custodial. Key features already live: MEV protection, better execution, slippage, gases trades, 0 fees for the first month, predictable off-chain price settlement on-chain, tax token support as well. Upcoming this week, limit orders, faster quotes, and UI improvements. So there we go. That's a great little summary there as well. Right, so kind of cool. Let's move up here. This is pretty interesting. I thought this was pretty spectacular. Not only was the launch of LibertyX fantastic, but they've also teased us with the ZKX wallet. So this month, ZKX wallet will also be complete. Remember, they're doing some sort of hybrid between a normal wallet and a privacy wallet. We will send the code for internal and invite testing. Private PulseX Uniswap V4 is on the way as well. So Uniswap V4 we don't have, so they're actually building that themselves apparently, which is pretty interesting. So that was pretty cool. Emmett to the farm, pretty happy about that. ZKX wallet plus Liberty Shield plus LibertyX are all built simultaneously. Privacy Suite being constructed on Pulse Chain right now would be the headline story on any other chain. That's how good this technology is, guys. We are very lucky to have it on Pulse Chain, and they are leading the way there. ZKX wallet and Privacy PulseX Uniswap V4 in the same month. The privacy stack on Pulse Chain is becoming something nobody else has internally testing. Means that mainnet is closer than people think. So this team is quite amazing. More great stuff coming. So pretty cool. Now we can see that Liberty PCock was over 2 cents, and it does look like it could very much break up to the next value level now that it's done that. So keep an eye on the old PCock chart there. And of course, if you're in Strategy Club, you would have been well versed with that and been tracking PCock in Strategy Club for some time. So there we go. 6 hours ago, transactions are rising on Pulse Chain along with gas costs. Zero is a fast mover too. So just looking at some of the top coins, they're moving pretty cool. More updates on LibertyX releases this week. The PCock buyback is coming. Remember, they were going to celebrate with an $8,000 buy. Probably going to do a bit more than that too. I bet you they always do. They're always surprised to the upside is this team. So kind of cool. Up only, says Sean. Up only indeed. All right, so some good stuff happening there. Keep a lookout for the old PCock chart. 5 hours ago, we were monitoring some of the first transactions via LibertyX. That's good. LibertyX orders are gas abstraction, 0 fees, and MEV protection. User PulseX can trade on their favorite DEX safely. Our orders fillers complete intent, users intent off-chain to offer the best possible price by sourcing liquidity from multiple venues, including AMMs and DEXs. So we always want the best deal for users with speed. So there we go. So a couple of the transfers there, looking pretty good. And we want the best for PCock. PCock is the end game. Yeah, well, PCock should represent kind of the value of the protocol to some degree. So kind of cool. All right, so let's scroll back up here. Got a few more updates. I think we had. Do we have more updates? I think we did. Oh yes, we had. We're excited to announce that LibertySwap now supports Polygon. USDC Polygon can now be swapped directly and instantly to USDC. Pulse Chain and other Pulse Chain assets. One more big source of liquidity is now connected to Pulse Chain and Pulse Chain assets. So very cool multi-chain future, right? More updates on the way. 3 hours ago, they said. We're working on APIs. Finally, we have our core swap products released. So all the core swap products are now released. And as Sean says, it's up only from here. So pretty cool. So that's kind of neat. They've probably got a few more little tidbits there. But that's very exciting. So congratulations to LibertySwap. A lot of hard work, a lot of cleverness, and congratulations to the Pulse Chain primarily for benefiting from that. And of course, multi-chain future there with the good old LibertySwap. Now you can hit the actual DAT, and you can find all that there. So you can actually, LibertyX here. You can get into that, and of course, you got the US dollar swap there, so you can play around with all that. just by using the link at the top. So LibertyX, they also got Shield there as well. So lots of cool stuff you can check out there. But there is LibertyX is in play. Very, very cool. All right. Let's jump over to our final topic, as you guys know, which is what? Pulse Chain Hottest Weekly News Monster Thread. Now, the Monster Thread, of course, is a publication of the Crypto Night Show. The editor-in-chief is MVS Crypto, and he's also the promotional lead for the Crypto Night Show as well. So if you're a team out there, you want to get on the Monster Thread, hit us up. It is a professional publication on Pulse Chain. It is the main newsletter on Pulse Chain. And the reach is pretty dramatic, somewhere between 35 and 50,000 people a week. And we're suspecting that when Pulse Chain takes off, really starts to take off, that's going to go up by many X's. So we're expecting potentially we could get up to hundreds of thousands of people reading the Monster Thread as we enter into a bull market phase. So very, very exciting place. It's an honor to do it, of course, for the community. As well, and that is that it really covers all the news in the last week on Pulse Chain, and we have a number of research tools to make sure it's pretty accurate every week, and we try to keep a very neutral position on there, and if someone's doing something cool, we'll get it in there. Now, we'll be expanding our publications in the future, and we're going to do a lot more stuff for the community in that stead, so pretty cool. So let's get into it without further ado. Pulse Chain's weekly Monster Thread number 44. So 44 weeks of the hottest Pulse Chain news coverage. We've got Richard's ProveX, threads and articles, card on ramps, and more monster moves. So that's the title today. You can obviously join Emmet Farm and True DeFi today, both of them offering farm at high APRs, as well as EDI returns on single side staking, and of course a ton of popular farm options. So check out both those farms there. Big shout out to the founders there, Kairos and Daniel and Neil. We got Richard's ProveX testnet. Richard shared the new distribution verification page for ProveX on testnet, triggering excitement for the community. It really did. I mean, I just felt a seismic shift almost in the sentiment on Pulse Chain, and that probably could have been a key trigger, but that was pretty cool. Now, there were some people in the community already front running a lot of that sort of stuff around ProveX. And we had people like CryptoSolve and RH Max and people like that sort of talking about it. So there's lots of other people, but those are some of the key ones. LibertyX inbound. Obviously, we just covered the whole launch of LibertyX. So LibertyX launched only a few hours after the Monster Thread came out. LibertyX is a privacy-focused, intent-based DEX aggregator for Pulse Chain with cross-chain reach. So there we go. Expound them. Future of Hex on Pulse Chain, Cultivate Crypto delivered a strong discussion on where Hex and Pulse Chain are headed. It featured some pretty big names like Dollar Cost Crypto, Internet Money, I Am B Roots, Fast Abdul, Wildest J, Money Gang Crypto, the Grays Currency, and Prairie Nana. So it was a pretty big lineup there. So you should definitely check that out. With that one, it was a great show. So kind of cool. What else do we have? We have the Clarity Act thread. So Kraft, he's a kind of a ex-influencer out there, and he's done quite a bit of commentary. He says he dropped a detailed thread exploring the Clarity Act. As you guys know, we're waiting for the Clarity Act that will regulate the whole crypto market and really open the floodgates to TradeFi coming over to crypto in many other ways other than just tokenization, and its potential positive impact on Pulse Chain. So it was a great write-up there. Go check that out for that. That's a whole thread there from Kraft. We also had the full story of Richard Hart from Panos, aka Strident Citizen, published an in-depth article covering the full story of Richard Hart. So that'd be pretty interesting. I haven't read it myself, but to go ahead and have a check of that. It's got a whole big thread there. Look at that. So you can go check that out. Pretty cool. We also had a Hex T-share report. Tam, top female influencer in X, there posted Hexfire, Crispy Man, who is our number one really analyst now these days on Hex T-share. And he broke that down with the latest Hex T-shares, including a lot of the stuff that's happening with Hex these days. And like I say, we've got a lot of Hex stakes coming out over the next week, starting from today, including the OA one on the 17th. So pretty dramatic there around Hex. And Hex, of course, is picking up in price. So it's going to be an interesting lay of the land within a week, what it's going to look like in a week's time, we should see. We've got the Hexen Fortnightly Hangout there. Captain RG3, one of the OGs, led another great Hexen Fortnight Hangout with the crew. So he had a whole ton of guests on there. So you can go check that out too. I think we've got a little snapshot, do we? Well, it doesn't show up there. We've got the link there, but that is on. Passionate call to action. We got Humble Farmers. Humble Farmers is involved with Morbius, I think it is. Morbius, yeah. So that's gaming. We're going to try to cover Morbius in the future, so keep a lookout for that. We obviously like gaming. We're just looking for quality games there that we can rely on. Not always the case, is it? Not always the case. Shared an epic video by Brother KG urging PulseChain influencers to adopt and promote internet money as the best onboarding tool for PulseChain. Now, that's a really great video. So if you check out this video, KG gives a pretty big case for how innovative and how far-reaching internet money wallet is on all the three big platforms like Google, Play Store, and things like that. Over 170 countries, etc. There's a lot of big stuff there. Over 40 chains. So just telling the community, hey, probably should start marketing internet money wallet a lot more because it's pretty much everywhere. Get out there. So it was pretty good. I like that. Thought it was pretty good. Validator staking suppliers, David Feder, the king of validating, provided over 70% of the validator hardware by our accounts. Launched a clean new validator staking launch pad. So it was pretty cool from David Feder. You can see that here, kind of neat. And it's a full-time job for him, even for the old validators. Credit and debit on-ramp. On-ramp now, we talk about LibertySwap, but on-ramp, of course, official ramp now has been one of the first bridges that we talked about last year. It now offers full PulseChain on-ramping with Visa, MasterCard, Apple Pay, and more. So if that's something that suits you, go check that out. It does have some fees, but if it suits you, that could be pretty good. It does have fiat on-ramps as well with the Euro, and I think with the Indian Rand. I can't remember what the Indian one's called, but that's got that as well. The chain the SEC couldn't kill. Jana Crypto Crean. So we've got a giant influencer here, guys. That's just seems to be covering PulseChain. We've got Jana there. Web3 Queen. Follow for life lessons, growth hacks, and crypto vibes. Queen at the BC game. Max wins us. Now, she's got 214,000 followers, so pretty big. A female influencer. We've had a few of those over the last year, haven't we? So another one there, Jane. Now, she's also going to be a key character in the upcoming Pulse of the Fallen Season 2, which I think is the Fire Queen. So that could be pretty cool. So yeah, she wrote a big article here. PulseChain, the chain the SEC couldn't kill. At least maybe she got some help with it, who knows? But gaining massive traction and gaining over 50,000 views. So that was pretty awesome. And we like this. I mean, this is really great. So yeah, 53,000 views so far. Very cool. So that was very popular. That's exactly sort of stuff that PulseChain needs to help, keep the momentum and turn the sentiment around, right? ProveX testnet hype. RH Max hosted a stream titled ProveX Token, launched now live on PulseChain testnet. Now he did cover quite a bit of the stuff that people know so far around ProveX. So it was a pretty good stream from that point of view. You can definitely
look at
it goes through a lot of the evidences there as well. So it was a good stream. Mega finale space. Now Blockcast was in the monster thread last week because they had a ginormous X space with tens of thousands of people watching, I think, and they had a final episode in the series, and PulseChain was represented in that as well because it was sort of summing up all the blockchains that they'd gone through on individual X spaces, and so we got on there again. So 2 weeks in a row. It was pretty cool. So that is from a Blockcast there, and they've got 55,000 followers, and that was a very successful launch, a very successful session there. So kind of cool. Gonna be pretty happy about that. Validator starts. Validator's growing strong now. There's a cool snapshot of where validators are at the moment. Obviously, I go through that a lot of the time when I'm doing live shows. We had another female influencer there, X Lotus, shouted out PulseChain now running over 53,000 validators and with a rock solid uptime. Yeah, and it's pretty much its community service right now, given where Pulse is, right? So very cool stuff there from all those validators. PulseChain AMA momentum, Crypto Coffee held a packed AMA space to discuss PulseChain pumping along with Hex, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and PulseX. Yeah, I wasn't too aware that he did a lot of AMAs, but apparently that's the case. And he did it here on X, so that was exciting. And he's been definitely upping his content as well as Crypto Coffee. So big shout out to him. Twin boys on arrival. Freedom has welcomed healthy twin boys, getting hundreds of wholesome comments from the community, which is awesome. Remember last week, I think we had Maddie Allen announced that he was having a boy, and this week we had Freedom with the healthy twin boys. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? So we got little pictures of that. I'm not sure. Let's have a look. We got little pictures of that. Yeah, not showing out at the moment, but pretty cool. All right, honourable mentions. We had Larry and Taurus from Taurus Table Talk. Went live on the One Pulse show. Another honourable mention was the DTG. Sent love and thanks to the entire Pulse Chain community. We also had, was it iGlue Bamboo? That's some name. Shared the latest development updates on the Ashes of Infinity projects. Bana there. And then we had Crypto Sparbook, obviously a big OG from all the old Hex conferences. Remember that? In Europe and America. Yeah, the Monster Hex stake is coming out in only 9 days. So that's what we've been talking about. Everyone is looking forward to that. 33 billion Hex stake, over 1 million T-shares, which is pretty crazy. And I think, what did we say? We had about 40 million now. So yeah, it's a pretty decent amount. What will happen to it? All the questions of what will happen to that big T-share with 33 billion Hex in it. We'll find out in due course. No doubt it's going to be good. Now, we also obviously have some pretty key players in the Monster thread. With the hottest weekly news, we got Heartwood Dog, the official Pulse Chain anime. We're looking forward to season 2 from that. I'm going to try and get Heartwood Dog on the live stream to do a walkthrough. I have a great idea for a show, so we're going to try and get Heartwood Dog on that. True DeFi, 2x your pulse farm with True Farm. Now, obviously, True DeFi really coming onto the scene. It's been about 80 days, and these guys are absolutely exploding on the scene, building out some quality DeFi protocols like True Farm, the 2x Pulse Miner. And they've got more on the roadmap. So we're really excited to see where True DeFi will go. We also got Emmett Farms, collaborations, DAOs, and airdrops. Obviously, I did an interview with Emmett. I think it was yesterday. Check it out. It was a great interview. Got to go check it out. It was so good. I had such a good time and really covered all the alpha stuff there. So big shout out to Kairos. Pulse TG, Alien Tech Blue. Obviously, they've been doing very well recently with the old referral program and marketing and website upgrades, and really have been putting a lot of work in there as one of our top communities there, and the first DAO token and indirect index token too, in many ways, PTC. And then finally, LibertyX launch, of course, LibertySwap Fi there. So cool stuff there. Now, one thing that's happened that's changed this week compared to previous weeks is that X Post has seemed to change the way you can place images inside X Post. So all the images this week are at the bottom. If you're wondering why it's a little different from normal, normally they're placed evenly amongst the monster thread there, amongst the news. But because of not having the movability button on the images, they're all down at the bottom now, but they still look pretty good. So we've got some of the broadcasts there with some that happened during the week. Crypto Coffee with the top hat there, and another one there with Captain RG3 there, and of course there with the latest, the chain, this SCCon talk there with Jaina there. So not bad. All right, so let's quickly go through the Hog one. Pulse of the Fallen there. Obviously, Jaina Crypto. There's going to be new characters in Season 2. Very excited about that. Jaina Crypto Queen, that big influencer with 240,000 followers. She's got her own character, which is pretty awesome. And it's going to be Fire Queen. She responded and said, "I am already in love. Sign me in." So that's pretty cool, awesome. From Jaina there. Season 2 is coming. It's been a little, quite a big tease about Season 2, but I do believe it is coming soon than later, which is pretty cool. And we've got lots of cool images there. Hog, of course, been performing like a boss on the old Pulse chain, doing very good performer. And we've got some cool animations here.
Burn away the darkness!
A new character for Season 2. Really pretty cool. And we've also got the plane here with a lot of the favorite characters. We've got Mr. Wu and others there, so pretty cool. Crypto Tiger God in there, lots of influencers there, and that's going to be pretty neat. Pretty cool stuff there. Pulse of the Fallen Season 2, new characters are coming, so keep a lookout for that, guys. Keep a lookout for that. What else we got going? We got Emmett Farm as well. Emmett Farm, of course, pretty much the leading farm on Pulse Chain, along with True Farms now, and we can see you can earn Emmett single side staking. You can earn EDI. But they've got lots of top pools. Look, all these top pools with all these top teams. Just about all the top teams you can think of in here with high APR yields. So pretty good place to earn DeFi income. Definitely worth checking out Emmett Farm. And if you do go into the Emmett Farm Telegram and tell them that Superman sent you, you can register for the airdrop bot, and you'll get airdrops nonstop. I mean, it really is crazy. They're dropping airdrops nonstop. It's been dropping for a year, dropping airdrops in there. And if you'd been there, you probably would have made a couple $100 or something. So it's pretty cool. So a single size stake received 4% of the Emmett as well for the EDI rewards if you buy Emmett and stake Emmett. Pretty cool. Now, I did this awesome interview with the Emmett Farm, so definitely check that out. That was so good as well. In fact, let's go to that link. You can see the link there.
Asset that we're
And
pairing with.
Kairos and myself, we went through the
It's
old
been a
Emmett
pretty
Farm.
strong asset.
So well worth checking that out. Really was a great interview there. Now, Emmett, of course, is tradable on X and doing very well today. One of what we said, number 4th best performer today, following the I guess yesterday's live stream. I'm not saying that had to do anything with me, but that is very positive indeed. And of course, the monster thread there too. So we've got some cool animations here. Emmett Farm and the live stream we did yesterday. Got some high yields on the farms there. It really is a leading farm on Pulse Chain and doing some great stuff there. Let's jump over to what do we got next? We've got we covered everything here. Did I jump something? I felt like I jumped something, but maybe that's because I've been moving around there. We've got PGC, of course, got covered in the monster thread there. Why PGC is expected exploded. Rug-proof fortress, no scams, passive income powerhouse, earn while you sleep, reflection staking and lock rewards, and also deflationary moonshot there as well from PGC. Now, the one thing that we have got that was all based on a video from Perry Banana, who really does a great job covering the number 1 Pulse Chain DAO, the first DAO, and of course earning lots of rewards there. So
since you are already deep into DeFi,
this is a video from Perry Banana. Does a great job summarizing all the bullishness of the PTGC. Really, really great job there. You can see all the key reasons to hold PTC down there. Well worth checking out. So great big shout out to Perry Banana there. And then finally, we had LibertyX launched imminent. And of course, we've just covered that earlier today as well with the old PCock price surging as well. So kind of cool. Cool things happening there. And of course, looks like they're going to drop that $8,000 on that PCock some stage, I guess. Maybe a bit more. We'll see. But
LibertyX is launching!
Pretty awesome. So I love that stuff. And you can see the breakout on the chart happening, right? We've already broken a bit higher than that. So keep a lookout for that. That's looking pretty good. LibertyX is not coming anymore. It's here. LibertySwap and PCock there. So looking pretty good. So some good stuff happening there with the old MVS. Posting out, so a big shout out to him, editor-in-chief and the promotional lead for the monster thread. Also getting covered by Somi every week as well, which is fantastic. So one of the top influencers on Pulse Chain covering the monster thread as well. Does a great job of that as well. Awesome stuff, right? Awesome stuff. So very, very cool. Now, I think we had one more post in there that just got changed around a little bit. So let me just scroll down to that. Where was that? We had another link here somewhere. Scroll down. We had another one here for True DeFi. Yeah, so True DeFi also had a link there. It was separated out, but yeah, growth stats are looking great for True DeFi. $40,000 in real revenue generated from external DeFi services. Now, this is a concept they had, and they're proving it out. So far, it's looking pretty good. 100% outside from the True 2x platform where they got the 2x miners, people mining for 2x their Pulse amount. And now they've got businesses like True Farm, which now feed that along with Emmett Farm. They're sitting in a single side staking, they're earning EDI and pushing that revenue into the True 2x platform. So it seems to be going pretty well. We're only, 80 days in or so. They've had a consistent 150 million Pulse added every single day from ProveX services going into the, I guess, the miners pool there. Epic 2x milestone giveaway incoming as well. So they're going to have a big giveaway, guys. Keep a lookout for that from True Farms. Well worth getting on there. So they're really pushing the boundaries of investment houses on Pulse Chain, really. So keep a lookout for all those stats that are coming up. 2x your Pulse. So that is from True DeFi. Very, very cool indeed. All right, what a show it has been. We have really packed full with the alpha, haven't we? It has been pretty awesome. We got Frank White in the house as well. Bang, bang, Pulse gang. PLS has started some cool new stuff listed. Excited times for Pulse Chain Bros. We'll have to look at that maybe on tomorrow's show, I think. Frank White says Pulse, what was it? Pulse Start, some cool stuff there. Yeah, it does double up there. Very cool. Yeah, Pulse Start there is Pulse Chain's ecosystem map. So you guys definitely check that out, and we might look at that tomorrow. All right, so that's very, very exciting. Very, very exciting stuff happening with the old monster thread every week. All right, so that is pretty much it. We're almost up to an hour on the live stream. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We've got a pretty big audience watching right now, so I do appreciate all the support, everybody. All I'll say, if you're on YouTube, watching on YouTube, don't forget to smash the subscribe button. We're on Crypto Night Show, Superman Crypto, and Pulsechain X. If you're on X, of course, don't forget to scroll up to the top and share it around. Now I'm going to post the monster thread in the chat here in case you want to read it and share it around. Great onboarding tool, right? Great onboarding tool. And also, if you're busy in the week, great to catch up on all the hottest things, so you're not missing out on everything every week. Get to read the monster thread and find the latest. If you're a project team, you want to get some brand awareness and exposure, then it's perfect for you to hit us up. So hit me up or hit MBS up if you want to get on next week's monster thread. So do that. As a professional publication, but is pretty awesome. So get out there and get involved. It's a great place for teams to get awareness. It's very difficult out there for teams to get awareness. So it plays a big role with doing that. So very neat. All right. What else are we going to say? I think that's kind of it, isn't it? I think so. Yeah, what a week. We had Bitmine immersion. We covered strategy, all big moves this week, cracking big moves this week. Looks like things have calmed down for the time being in the Iran and the Strait of Hormuz with the oil. That was pretty dramatic over the weekend with the big spike. We've got Pulsechain on the move with LibertyX leading the way. We've got the ProveX testnet SAC out there as well. Sentiment does seem to have changed. We lost a zero of Pulse. That's sort of supporting the whole feeling. The Pulsechain Monster thread was really exciting. Lots of news out in last week. Lots of streamers doing streaming. Very, very cool. So is the bottom in? It feels good like that. So we'll keep a lookout. We're pretty optimistic. And look, if Tom Lee uses that 1.2 billion to buy the bottom, if they're right about the bottom in the next week, these are just in the days ahead, Tom DeMark's right, then we could have quite the lift in the old Ethereum, and Ethereum's already back over 2K. So could be pretty exciting moving forward, guys. Yeah, very, very cool. All right. Bring it on, as I say, bring it on. All right, take care, everybody. I'll catch you in tomorrow. Now, finally, don't forget Strategy Club there. There is the QR code. So if you want to join up to that, just over $1 a day, get all the intel as I see it. I post it into the Strategy Club. Also provide commentaries and potential opportunities in there as well. Well, we're getting on that. Of course, you can always hit me up for a chat as well. So pretty cool. So Strategy Club there, QR code sitting right there, just over $1. Join up, and I'll see you there. All right, take care and bye for now. See you tomorrow.